Hey beautiful, have you considered subscribing to our channel? It helps us make quality content for you. Help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers.
Classified Military Report. Galactic Federation High Command. Date: 7249.3 Standard Galactic Cycle. Subject: Mandatory Gravity Testing Implementation. Status: Extremely embarrassing. To High Council of the Galactic Federation. From Admiral Casthorne, 3rd Fleet, Diplomatic Division, Re. Why we must stop calling humans weak immediately. Esteemed Council members, I regret to inform you that I must submit this report detailing the most humiliating series of events in our fleet's history. As your Admiral, I take full responsibility for our collective arrogance and the resulting incidents. Let me be clear. This report will explain why we now require mandatory gravity testing before any officer is permitted to make comments about human physical capabilities. Yes, you read that correctly. We need an actual protocol to stop our people from embarrassing themselves. For those wondering why such a protocol exists, please continue reading. And no, you cannot skip to the end. Trust me, you need the full context to understand how we managed to turn a simple first contact into a galaxy-wide joke. Our civilization has achieved faster-than-light travel, mastered antimatter containment, and developed technology beyond imagination. We mapped 12 galaxies, contacted thousands of species, and somehow still managed to completely misunderstand basic physics when it came to humans. The irony is not lost on me. 3 days ago, our flagship Democracy's Light arrived in Earth's orbit, carrying our most prestigious diplomatic team. We were confident, perhaps excessively so, in our superior evolution. After all, we had encountered hundreds of species from low-gravity worlds before. Their fragile bones and weak muscles were always evident. We had protocols for handling their delicate nature. What we failed to consider, and this is where our renowned scientific arrogance truly shines, was that evolution on a high-gravity world might produce something entirely different. Something that our standard protocols were not prepared to handle. But before I detail the series of increasingly catastrophic events that followed, I must emphasize that this report is not just about our mistakes. It is about preventing future diplomats from challenging humans to arm wrestling matches, or worse, accepting their invitations to what they call friendly sports. Attached, you will find video evidence of all incidents. Yes, including the now infamous gym competition. And no, we still cannot remove it from the Galactic Information Network. Apparently, humans have something called memes, and we are now one of them. Let me begin with the first diplomatic meeting, where Commander Rex Bright made what we now recognize as a grave error in judgment. Commander Rex Bright stood proudly in the United Nations chamber, his ceremonial cape flowing behind him as he addressed the human delegates. With 3 advanced degrees in xenobiology and a reputation for successful first contacts, he felt more than qualified to handle these primitive gravity-bound creatures. The good commander cleared his throat, adjusted his translator, and promptly destroyed centuries of diplomatic protocol in exactly 6 words. "How do you even stand up here?" A murmur rippled through the human delegation. The UN Secretary-General raised an eyebrow, her pen pausing mid-note. Commander Bright, completely missing these warning signs, continued his carefully prepared speech. "Your achievements are remarkable, considering your evolutionary disadvantages. We, the Galactic Federation, extend our protection to your species. We understand the challenges of developing under such crushing gravity. Why, just walking to this podium must have been exhausting for you." The UN military attaché, General Maria Rodriguez, stood up. The commander would later describe her smile in his report as terrifyingly similar to that of a Zentarian hunting cat. "Commander," she said, her voice carrying across the suddenly silent chamber, "are you suggesting we are physically weak?" "Not at all." Commander Bright raised all 4 of his hands in what he thought was a reassuring gesture. "We simply acknowledge your limitations. On our worlds you would practically float. Though we recommend against visiting, your fragile bones might not handle our advanced exercise equipment." General Rodriguez turned to the Secretary-General. "Ma'am, permission to demonstrate human physical capabilities?" Granted, the Secretary-General replied, fighting to keep a straight face. Please try not to break the commander. What followed has been viewed 47 billion times on the Galactic Information Network. The video, titled Alien Learns About Earth Gravity the Fun Way, shows Commander Bright accepting what he thought was a simple greeting ritual. The commander's voice can be clearly heard saying, "Ah, yes, your primitive arm wrestling competition. I accept, though I must be gentle with your... Wait, why are you smiling like that?" The next 30 seconds show General Rodriguez, a former arm wrestling champion during her college years, demonstrating exactly why humans from a high-gravity world should never be underestimated. The commander's startled squeak as his arm was instantly pinned became the most popular ringtone in 3 sectors. But it got worse. "Best 2 out of 3, the commander squeaked, his pride overwhelming his judgment. "I was merely unprepared for your unexpected strength." The general's smile widened. "Better idea. Let's have a friendly pull-up competition. Unless you're worried about your fragile bones." The resulting video of Commander Bright struggling to complete a single pull-up, while General Rodriguez casually did 50 one-handed pull-ups, went viral faster than a quantum virus. The Galactic Information Network crashed 3 times from the traffic. The commander's final words before fleeing the chamber, "This violates several laws of physics," became the official motto of the human delegation to the Galactic Federation. In my personal opinion as Admiral, had Commander Bright stopped there, we might have salvaged some dignity. Unfortunately, he then made the critical error of sending a formal complaint to the Galactic Science Division, demanding an investigation into what he called obviously artificial gravity manipulation by the humans. This led to the next phase of our humiliation, courtesy of our chief xenobiologist, Professor Lark Stormwind, who decided to prove humans were using technology to cheat. Professor Lark Stormwind arrived on Earth with 2 quantum computers, 3 gravity meters, and an unshakable belief in her own superiority. She was absolutely certain she would expose the humans' gravitational trickery. After all, she had written the definitive text on low-gravity species adaptation. She set up her laboratory in the newly established Galactic Embassy, surrounded by enough equipment to analyze a small moon. Her first mistake was inviting a group of human scientists to observe her experiments. Her second mistake was betting her entire research grant that she could prove they were using artificial gravity enhancement. "Your bone density readings are impossible," she announced, tapping her gravity meter with growing frustration. "According to these measurements, your skeletal structure should have collapsed under its own weight. You must be using some form of biological enhancement." Dr. James Chen, the lead human researcher, looked up from his coffee cup. "Have you considered that your baseline assumptions might be wrong?" "Nonsense." Professor Stormwind adjusted her equipment again. "My calculations are perfect. Watch this simulation." She activated her holographic display, showing a model of human bone structure under Earth's gravity. The simulation showed the skeleton immediately crumbling. "See? Completely impossible. You cannot fool science." Dr. Chen sipped his coffee. "Interesting simulation. Mind if we check your input parameters?" The professor waved her hand dismissively. "By all means. Though I warn you, the mathematics might be beyond your comprehension." The human scientists huddled around her computer. After exactly 47 seconds, Dr. Chen cleared his throat. "Professor, you seem to have based your calculations on the bone density of low-gravity species and simply scaled up the mass. That's not how evolution on a high-gravity world works." Professor Stormwind blinked all 3 of her eyes. "What? Here, let me show you our data." Dr. Chen pulled up their research. "We evolved under these conditions. Our bones and muscles developed to handle this gravity naturally. No technology required." The professor stared at the numbers, her career flashing before her eyes. But that would mean that we're actually quite strong by galactic standards." "Yes." Dr. Chen smiled. "Would you like to see our gym?" What happened next has been classified at the highest levels, but I can reveal that it involved Professor Stormwind attempting to prove her theories by challenging a human grandmother to a weightlifting contest. The grandmother, Mrs. Patricia O'Malley, age 67, was in the middle of her daily workout routine. The resulting video, titled "Alien Scientist Gets Schooled by Grandma," shows Mrs. O'Malley deadlifting 4 times the professor's calculated maximum possible weight for any carbon-based life form. Professor Stormwind's repeated cries of "This defies all known physics" can be heard clearly in the background. The professor's final research paper, titled "A Complete Reassessment of Everything I Thought I Knew About Gravitational Biology," is now required reading at the Galactic Science Academy. Her concluding line, "In retrospect, perhaps we should have asked more questions and made fewer assumptions," has become the unofficial motto of our xenobiology department. But the true culmination of our scientific humiliation was yet to come, courtesy of Lieutenant Nova Blake and what would become known as the Gym Incident. Lieutenant Nova Blake considered herself the pride of the Galactic Federation's athletic division. She had won the Interplanetary Fitness Championship 3 years running and could outperform most species in standard gravity competitions. This made her the perfect candidate to restore our reputation after the previous incidents. At least that's what we thought. The Earth's International Olympic Committee had graciously invited us to participate in a friendly athletic exhibition. Lieutenant Blake volunteered immediately, confident she would prove that our previous representatives had simply been unprepared. She spent 2 weeks preparing what she called a stunning demonstration of superior alien fitness. The event was broadcast live across both Earth and galactic networks. Lieutenant Blake strode into the Olympic training facility wearing our most advanced performance suit, designed to enhance natural abilities by 300%. She approached the human athletes, who were dressed in what she described as primitive fabric coverings. "I understand there have been some misunderstandings about relative physical capabilities," she announced to the cameras. "Today I will demonstrate proper athletic technique for your benefit. Who would like to attempt to match my performance?" A human stepped forward. Tom Martinez, age 19, was a first-year college student who worked part-time at the facility's smoothie bar. He was, as Lieutenant Blake noted in her report, suspiciously unconcerned about the challenge. The lieutenant began with what she considered a basic warm-up, a one-handed handstand while reciting the Galactic Constitution. The human observers watched politely. Tom, finishing his protein shake, asked, "That's the warm-up? Cool. Mind if I try?" What followed was not just a demonstration, but what Earth's social media would call an absolute demolition. Tom matched every one of the lieutenant's feats, while adding what he called some basic parkour. The video shows Lieutenant Blake's expression shifting from confidence to confusion to outright panic as Tom casually performed increasingly complex gymnastics routines. "But my suit enhances strength by 300%, she protested as Tom did a triple backflip. "Oh, is that what that fancy outfit does?" Tom landed perfectly. "That's neat. I'm just wearing regular gym clothes." The lieutenant, desperate to regain control of the situation, moved to the weightlifting area. Perhaps a more straightforward demonstration of strength. She loaded the bar with what our calculations indicated was an impossible weight for humans to lift. Tom glanced at the weight and frowned. Are you sure you want to start with just that? I usually warm up with more." The next sequence has been viewed so many times that it briefly overloaded the Galactic Information Network's main servers. Lieutenant Blake, straining with all her enhanced might, managed to lift the weight chest high. Tom, while making a TikTok video with his free hand, lifted the same weight with apparent ease. How is this possible? The lieutenant's voice hit a pitch previously unknown to our species. Your planet's gravity should make this impossible. Our gravity? Tom looked genuinely confused. Oh, right, you guys aren't from around here. This is just normal Earth stuff. Hey, want to see something really cool? Before anyone could stop him, Tom proceeded to break 16 galactic strength records while explaining his workout routine to his social media followers. The lieutenant's increasingly distressed attempts to scientifically explain why this should be impossible became an instant viral sensation. The event concluded with Lieutenant Blake sitting on a bench, questioning everything she knew about physics, while Tom demonstrated one-finger push-ups to a growing crowd of impressed alien observers. The video, titled Alien Jim Fail, Space Legend vs. Smoothie Guy, reached 1 trillion views within a standard day. Lieutenant Blake's final words before requesting immediate retirement, "Perhaps we should have researched Earth gravity more thoroughly," became the most popular quote in galactic sporting history. But the true impact of this incident wasn't just social media humiliation. It forced a complete overhaul of our military training protocols. The humiliation of our finest officers finally prompted the Galactic High Command to take decisive action. The newly formed Committee for Human Interaction Protocols gathered to create what would become known as the Don't Challenge Humans Directive. First came the gravity testing requirements. Every officer assigned to Earth duty must now complete what we call the Reality Check Protocol. This involves watching all previous embarrassing incidents, signing a document acknowledging Earth's gravity levels, and passing a written exam confirming they understand that humans are not, in fact, using any form of technological enhancement. Commander Rex Bright, now serving as our cautionary example, recorded mandatory training videos. His presentation, How Not to Start an Interstellar Incident, includes a frame-by-frame analysis of his diplomatic failures. The section titled, Signs Your Human Opponent is Not Actually Struggling, has saved countless officers from similar humiliation. Professor Stormwind contributed to the new protocols as well, though somewhat reluctantly. Her revised xenobiology textbook now includes an entire chapter called Earth, Where Your Physics Assumptions Go to Die. The accompanying documentary features her famous grandmother incident, complete with slow-motion replay of Mrs. O'Malley's record-breaking deadlift. Lieutenant Blake, who thankfully emerged from retirement, now heads our new Human Physical Capability Assessment Division. Her first action was to ban all impromptu strength competitions with humans. Her second action was to rewrite our entire first contact protocol, replacing phrases like primitive species and evolutionary disadvantages with more diplomatic alternatives such as gravity-adapted civilization and please don't arm wrestle them. The diplomatic corps underwent the most dramatic transformation. All representatives must now complete what we call the Earth simulation. This involves attempting basic physical tasks while wearing gravity simulation suits calibrated to Earth standards. The resulting video compilations of dignified diplomats struggling to lift standard Earth objects have become valuable training materials. Perhaps the most significant change came in our military recruitment practices. We now actively seek advice from human physical trainers, though we had to first convince them we were serious about improving rather than setting up another viral video opportunity. The results speak for themselves. In the past 3 months, we have recorded 0 incidents of accidental challenges to human physical capabilities. Our diplomats have learned to appreciate Earth's gravity without commenting on it, and our scientists have finally accepted that their previous theories might have been slightly flawed. This brings us to our current situation, where we maintain a much more respectful relationship with our human allies, though we still occasionally have to stop newly arrived officers from trying to prove themselves in Earth's gyms. Looking back on these events, I must acknowledge that our initial approach to human relations was fundamentally flawed. We assumed that our advanced technology made us superior in every way. We never considered that evolution on a high-gravity world would produce advantages we couldn't match with our gadgets. Today, the relationship between humans and the Galactic Federation has evolved into something remarkable. Our joint training programs have yielded unexpected benefits. Human athletes now coach our special forces, though we had to specifically request instructors who wouldn't film our training sessions for their social media accounts. The humans, to their credit, have been surprisingly gracious about the whole situation. They even approved our request to remove some of the more embarrassing videos from their networks, though they politely declined to delete what they call the greatest hits compilation. Commander Rex Bright, I'm pleased to report, has found his true calling. He now leads our newly established Department of Human Cultural Understanding, where his first-hand experience with human strength serves as a powerful teaching tool. His arm wrestling defeat plays on a continuous loop in the department's lobby, along with his now famous quote, "Assumptions are the mother of all failures." Professor Stormwind's revised research has revolutionized our understanding of gravitational biology. She regularly collaborates with human scientists, though she still refuses to enter any gym where Mrs. O'Malley might be present. Lieutenant Blake has become an unexpected bridge between our cultures. She runs a popular galactic tube channel with Tom from the Smoothie Bar, comparing workout routines across species. Their series, Why Aliens Skip Leg Day, has become required viewing at the Academy. As for me, I've learned the most valuable lesson of all. True strength isn't just about physical capability or technological advancement. It's about acknowledging our mistakes, learning from them, and moving forward with humility and understanding. Though I must admit, watching new recruits try to challenge humans to fitness competitions, despite all our warnings, remains one of the more entertaining parts of my job. Admiral Casthorne, 3rd Fleet, Diplomatic Division, P.S. To the humans reading this report, yes, we know you're still making memes about us. We deserve it. Updated Galactic Federation Training Manual, Earth Assignment Section. Status, mandatory reading. Attention all new recruits. Welcome to your Earth deployment orientation. Before proceeding with your assignment, you must acknowledge the following protocols. 1. Under no circumstances are you to challenge humans to any physical competition. Yes, your advanced exoskeleton makes you feel invincible. No, it will not help you win a push-up contest with a human child. 2. The phrase, "on my planet, this would be easier," is now classified as a career-limiting statement. Please refer to the viral video archive titled, "Why We Don't Say That Anymore," for detailed examples. 3. All personnel must complete the gravity awareness training. This includes watching the full Greatest Hits of Galactic Embarrassment series. Yes, including the grandmother weightlifting incident, especially that one. Notice of review. This document has been updated and approved by the Human Relations Department. All incidents described herein are preserved for educational purposes, and definitely not because humans find them hilarious. Final training note. Remember when a human says, "Want to see something cool?" The correct response is, "No thank you." This is not negotiable. End of official documentation. Reviewer notes. To Admiral Casthorne, from Senior Training Observer. Document approval, Admiral. I've reviewed the updated protocols and training materials. Everything seems to be in order, though I must point out that the section about the grandmother incident could use more context. Mrs. O'Malley has since broken her previous record, and we should probably update those numbers. Also, you might want to mention that Tom from the Smoothie Bar now teaches advanced combat training to your special forces. The recruits should probably know why their instructor keeps making TikTok videos during their training sessions. Just trying to keep everything accurate. Best regards, General Maria Rodriguez, UN Military Attaché, former arm wrestling champion. P.S. That push-up contest with your new recruits last week? Absolutely not going viral, probably. No promises, though.